Now we start here. The 5 accused in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial returned to the dock this morning. That's following explosive revelations of a second docket. Slindelo Masikane continues to track that story for us and joins us now. Good morning, Slindelo. The last time when we adjourned last week, Advocate Mshololo sought to get clarity on the second docket. Just talk to us about some of the issues that she had with the emergence of this docket.
Quite scathing in her remarks against the state when she referred to docket 375, saying she cannot continue with cross-examination because, in fact, she only received that docket on that particular day last week, saying that the revelation of this docket is going to have material consequences for her client, and the fact that she did not have this docket disclosed to her before the trial even began means that her client's constitutional rights have been infringed upon, and she said that the state should be quite embarrassed in the manner that it is conducting this trial. So we adjourned, of course, for Advocate Mshololo to be able to write to the NDPPs of both the South and Gauteng High Court divisions to seek clarity as to why the 636 docket was pursued as opposed to the 375 docket, which points to those who were in that house on the evening in which Meyiwa was killed as to be the ones who should be arrested, as well as charged with his murder, and defeating the ends of justice.
And I suppose it's clarity that the whole nation wants, because many people have been watching this case with keen interest. That how do you prefer charges against these over these? So it would be important to find out why exactly they opted to prosecute these gentlemen as opposed to those that were stated in that particular or revealed in that particular docket. But what are we expecting today, though?
So it's more of an administrative session, Fundo, where we're going to see counsel also deliberating on a date where the trial can actually resume for a longer period, possibly some dates being discussed around September. We understand that Sergeant Mosia will not return today simply because we are just expecting counsel to give us feedback as to what they found out in terms of the NPA and their response to this 375 docket. And we are expecting, of course, that counsel will then also give their thoughts around what this means for the men currently on trial. We know that the defense for the past couple of weeks now have been using the time to really poke holes in the state's case in terms of actually linking these suspects to the murder scene. We had an opportunity, Mfundo, to actually speak to Senzo Meyiwa's brother, who from the very beginning has maintained that the men on trial are being used, they're being framed, and that there's a huge cover-up that's taking place. Let's take a listen to what he had to say around these 5 suspects.
Ngizolana nabo ngoba bacishe babulawa ngisho emajele. NPA even yabo le dokodo lelesibili kade yalazi NPA kutyala 2020 yalazi njengoba beqamba amanga ecourt baqambela icourt amanga bathi abalazi bathi balithole nini izolo banamanga lawo.
No, it's honestly very difficult for the family, because this is not just somebody who actually works for the South African Police Service himself, who would be familiar with how cases are concluded and the investigative process. He's also a family member. How has the family been doing? Because judging by what you're saying today, this is only administrative process today, so there are more delays. How are they doing?
Of course, it's a frustrating process for them, but we know, of course, that it's taken 8 years, Mfundo, just to get to this point. So I think the mere fact that we are in the midst of court proceedings for the family, it's encouraging. But from speaking to several of the family members, the brother, the sisters, they just really want to know the truth about what happened, and they really want more clarity around why the NPA as well decided to prosecute these 5 men as opposed to possibly just bringing all the possible suspects before the courts and seeing how that plays out. So I think for the family, it's encouraging to see the trial underway, but of course the delays are quite frustrating as well for them. But we are expecting to begin with court proceedings at around 10 a.m. this morning, and of course we will be bringing you those live visuals once court proceedings begin.
All right, Slindelo, we'll leave it there for now. That's our reporter Slindelo Masikane doing an exceptional job following that Senzo Meyiwa case for us. To this